Hey guys, welcome back to Ultimate SNS. I hope you've been having a great weekend. Today is finally Sunday. We're getting ready to approach into a new week. I think most people, the worst thing about Sunday for them is the fact that tomorrow is Monday and it's time to go back to work. Unless you're retired, then, every day is a Saturday or a Sunday. So that's kind of nice. But anyway, we're going to discuss a little bit more about some of the things we're seeing in the headline news. But first, I want to share this with you. If you haven't been getting food and you're thinking that the food crisis or whatever is just going to start going away, because you see they're actually facing off shelves now. They're reducing the size of your grocery outlets and stuff at like Walmart and all. They're adding fillers, junk food. They're starting to move the holiday supplies and stuff over there. It's kind of what we're seeing over here in this area. But here's some headline news for you that I think you really need to pay attention to. So as we move forward in the days ahead, guys, I really hope that you're getting food. If you're wanting to have those family get-togethers where everyone has a lot of the turkey and the ham and all that kind of stuff, sounding like good luck finding a turkey. They said that last year. We'll wait and see. I think the pricing of it is what's going to be the biggest issue, not just from the shortage, but also from the H1N1 garbage or H1N5, whatever the new strain of the bird flu is. I think that's what's going to be the biggest thing. Is it's going to drive that price mark up. But if you come together as a family, everybody just contribute a little bit of something into it, and it usually works out pretty good. And it may be a situation where you may be trying to figure out where you're going to get a turkey. Is it going to be too expensive? But maybe you have a family member or a friend who's going to join you, and they raise chickens or something. So you can always get a nice sized chicken and, hey, just eat that instead of a turkey. It all works out the same. That's kind of what we're looking at doing here. So one of the things when you start getting your sustainability programs, you want to make sure that you don't do it all at once. And the reason I say that is when you're getting into like quail and chickens, there can be added costs that you're not really aware of. And those added costs can make or break you. When you're looking at what does it cost to feed a chicken, well, it's going to depend on, do you have an area for them to free graze or not, and do you want to risk free grazing your chickens? So right now in Tennessee, they've had another spike in bird flu. As we're moving into winter and it starts to cool off in the northern states, we're going to have to cover the coop back up on top, and we're not going to be free grazing as much in the wintertime, mainly because all the birds migrate south here in the wintertime, and if they're carrying that disease and they're pooping in the yard, it can spread to your birds. It comes through fecal matter that's either on the ground or in the water typically. I don't imagine chickens are going to get around wild birds too much, like interacting and stuff, but it can also be in close contact too. So those are some things you need to really keep an eye out on if you're doing your flocks and stuff, and be mindful of the migratory pattern of the birds that come in. So that's the biggest thing that I'm looking at. Now, for those who have been watching the news, I know it's bad to laugh about this. Well, I guess it's bad. I don't really care. But apparently, what's going on down south of the border is apparently we're sending spokespeople out talking to people saying, hey, come to America, and we're just going to give you a bunch of free stuff. At least that's what it's sounding like when they're talking to these immigrants that were just shipped up to over in was it Martha's Vineyard. And when I say immigrants, the illegal migrants that are coming up there, guys, they're talking like they feel like they've been lied to because they were told. Well, who told them? Was it a U.S. representative down there? One, that's illegal if they're doing that, because they're not supposed to just be telling people to come up illegally. But they come across the border illegally, and then they have these buses waiting on them, and then they're shipping them to red states and to red voting districts. That's for those who don't know what that is. That means conservative areas that vote like Donald Trump or Rand Paul or whoever's going to be running on the conservative side, Republican side. They're moving them to the voting districts because when you looked at what happened with the mail-in ballots and all, we found out that, and it's all over. I don't know why they keep saying, well, there's no proof of it. They found these huge ravines where voting ballots were just dumped. Okay, the mail-in ballots for districts that if it was a conservative district, they were dumped, and It's proof. I mean, you can't lie about. I mean, I guess you could lie about it, but when you have the reports coming in and they try to cover that stuff up, if you're still listening to mainstream media thinking you're getting a whole picture, you're wrong. And that's not just in this country; that's in every country. So it doesn't matter who you know in another country. If they're following the media narrative, you're not going to get the full thing. So it's important that we really pay attention to what's happening around us. But we had a press conference here in Florida last night, and our governor and our secretary governor, I guess it's called, was actually discussing, will they be sending any more up to the elites, basically up into liberal districts. And they said, yeah, if they continue to send them down here, we will continue to load them on planes and buses and send them back. The reason they chose to use planes rather than buses was very simple. They did that because a bus stop 2 or 3 times on the way to its location, they could just get off and get off. So they're putting them on planes so it goes straight to the doorstep. They go right to the doorsteps of the people who say that they want them up here and that it's an act of love. And what we ended up seeing in a lot of these reports when the reporters showed up to see how they're reacting is they were really mad. They don't want people up there. They talk all that stuff, but they don't want them up there. They don't want the drain on their economic system up in those states. And that's basically what all states are saying. They can't afford a drain. It's already looking at food shortages. We're looking at, they talk about the jobs have come back. That's not what's going on. What's happening is not that more people are working. The problem is that more people are getting jobs that don't pay crap. And part of the reason we're seeing the increase of the prices here in Florida for those who are local is because here in a couple more years, the minimum wage for this state is going to be $16 an hour. No, I don't think that's fair to everyone who has went to college or really applied themselves in lives to learn these trade skills and stuff. We're gonna be paying someone to make fries, $16 an hour. It's not right. Those are entry level jobs. It's time to get up and get a real job. Is my view on that. But that's causing the prices of everything else to go up as well, and that's not really fair to the retirement community that lives down here. That's what most of Florida is retirees who have come down here, and now all of a sudden the prices are continuing to spike up because you got to pay these kids $16 an hour to make a French fry, and then they're going to give you a cold pack of French fries in the window because they're too busy taking their little selfies for TikTok or whatever the little things are. You see it all the time. You walk into a store or one of those fast food restaurants, I guarantee you one of the employees is going to have a phone out and the other one's going to be posing in front of it. That's the way it works out today. But I hope everyone's having a great day. Remember, when things seem like they're really hard, it maybe you're just having a really rough day. Just think about the faces of Kamala Harris when she opened her door the other day and there was a bunch of illegal migrants on her doorsteps. That always makes me smile. I mean, it really does. Have a wonderful day, guys.